Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, there was one couple and they had a very quiet, you know, happy marriage life. And then what happened by the time when they get old, like 40, 30, 40 years in their marriage life, suddenly husband recognized that her wife losing hearing ability. So then he felt so sorry about her, but still he don't want to talk about that. So what he did one day when he visited his doctor, he just have a conversation and asked doctor, my wife losing her hearing ability. So what I can do for her? So then doctor asked some questions. So what time, what kind of way that she react, and he didn't have the kind of like that much clear answers for that. So then the doctor told, okay, let's when you go home today, do this. Stand 40 feet away from her and then ask evening, honey, that what we going to eat for dinner. If she don't answer, come 20 feet closer to her and then ask the same question, honey, what we going to eat for dinner. And if she don't answer, come closer to 10 feet away from her. Keep the distance for 10 feet and ask, honey, what we going to eat for dinner. Still if she don't answer, then you can come closer to her and whisper to her eye and then raise your voice little bit and ask. So then you let me know in which direction which distance she gave the answer. Then according to that we can go ahead and do something. So he came home and then that day evening she was ready for something, and then he became conscious about the distance and 40 feet and asked, honey, that what we going to eat for dinner. No answer. So then he came, so according to the doctor's advice, now he came closer to 20 feet. And then again he asked, little bit raising his voice, honey, what we going to eat for dinner? No answer. Then again he came closer, now 10 feet. So then he asked the same question, but no answer. Then he came to her, closer to her, and then with the little bit higher voice, and he asks, honey, what we going to eat for dinner? She got so mad. And then she came, what's wrong with you? Can't you hear? 4 times I told you it is chicken. He got shocked, and then she told, this is serious. You have to go and see your doctor and check your ears because I think you're losing your hearing ability. So sometimes in our life, we think about others. We think, oh, that person like that way, that person having this. So like that. But at the same time, we don't look ourselves. And sometimes problem is within us. We don't see it. We are so smart to analyze regarding others and the outside situations. But when the real problem go with ourselves, what's the point? That you seeing outside world, maybe complaining regarding others and saying things to other people rather than fixing yourself. So then remember, as a husband, wife, children, friends, and family members, when you have conversation, before you go to conversation, take a step back. It's okay. You're not going to lose anything. Even sometimes when the war happened in between countries, sometimes they step back. And that step back and holding maybe 1 day, 2 days, and it going to take you to different level of solution. So then yourself, when you start to come with some others mistakes or the complaint, arguments, remember, very first thing that you have to look, first start to check yourself and observe yourself and see, are you complete, or is there something wrong going on with you? Maybe as a result of that, you may that recognize other people go through in certain situations. So that is very important for our day-to-day life. So with that, today we're going to talk about another sutta. It's called Avijja Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya, book of 10th. This sutta come. And this in this sutta, another way that Buddha mentioned, Buddha shows us how this ignorance can come to us, because the ignorance is the most powerful thing in the world. It can happen in many ways. It can come to us many ways, and we go towards it many ways. It two ways it work. Sometimes it can come to us, or maybe we can go towards it. And what is ignorance? Sometimes it's mainly the not ability to recognize the reality. And when it comes to that reality, that the Four Noble Truth, and when it comes to a little bit deeper, five aggregates, and when it comes to a little bit more deeper, eightfold path, and out of that all, if you cannot recognize the truth or the nature as it is, it doesn't matter whatever the education we get, whatever the information we collected, whatever the schools that we having and the universities or the diplomas we carried, in day-to-day life, in conventional life, if you cannot recognize just this very conventional truth, good as good, bad as bad, and that also kind of a ignorance. And then deeper in the spiritual level, in the eternal level, recognizing who you are is the most important part. That's why when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, the main purpose in the first 20 years, if we call it early Buddhism, the main purpose was self-realization. So out of that purpose, this whole other practice came to the 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 community of the Sangha. So this ignorance, sometimes within ourselves, it is so strong, and even sometimes we cannot recognize it. How strong the ignorance sometimes. So this is how it is. Okay, let's put it in this way. So the Buddha's teaching, the main purpose is to get you out of the suffering. This all teachings come with that purpose, get you out of the suffering. And why we suffer? Because of the ignorance. So, but there are some people just hearing the path of this Dhamma, and they suffer, and they think it's kind of like a suffering. See even how about it? If you that Dharma is the solution for suffering, but if you take the solution as suffering, what will happen? Where are you going to end? Why it happened to us like that way? So as example, if you tell to somebody, practice little bit meditation and learn something, and maybe they say, oh, this is very difficult for me, I don't like it. So see that even that you have a disease. So the medicine is the solution for the pain. But how about if you just seeing the medicine, hearing about the medicine, if you get the pain, how are you going to get out of it? So like that, sometimes our ignorance is that much strong. Even it is strong, it not allow even come closer to the truth, not even to hear the truth. As you know, some people burn the the truth, and it is the greatest enemy for some. Even the Buddha's picture or the statue is they don't like it. Some professors, they talk about everything in the universe, but purposely, when I listen to some their conversations, purposely they neglect the name of the Buddha. They afraid to tell the name, even the name of the Buddha, mention the Buddha. Why? If they mention the Buddha, their whole conversation going to go to different way. So like that in our life also, sometimes we know the truth, but we purposely neglect it. So then remember, in your life, if you look for the truth, the very first thing, at least yourself deeper in your heart, maybe conventionally it is different in the beginning, but deeper in your heart, be available for that. Be available for that, for the truth, for the recognition, understanding. And that's why you have to always keep the open mind. And no one can take it out of you. It is within yourself. So if you develop that ability, maybe whatever the situation that you go through, by the time it will change. And then there will be a moment for you to get into more and more and more towards practice. It will happen. But it is up to you. If you really look for the truth, if you really look for the salvation, if you really look for the liberation yourself, if you really look for the cultivation yourself, you can find it. No one can challenge for that. Remember that. We all related to this entire universe. There is something around us, around in this universe. Your mind, only your mind can access to that, not this physical body. So just imagine you breathing, this breathing, inhalation, you inhale this entire universe, that the whole world, whatever the breathing that Buddha had, all the enlightened masters had, inhalation, exhalation, you also have that. And some people can use it to different things. When you want to push something, what you need the breathing. When you want to run, you need the breathing. It's all that the physical work, not the muscles. People used to think about like that way. But when now is this modern sport science, it's not the muscles. Even when it come to very, very difficult, heavy, the practice, weightlifting or running and boxing, fighting, this all, the heavy, heavy sport, that everything depend on the capacity of your lungs. They work so hard with the breathing. So, and at the same time, even for the Buddha, to attain to the Buddhahood, he also used the breathing. See, that the people use the same thing. That's mean the inhalation, exhalation. You can use it for your all that is physical practice, even for your all emotional interference. And also, you can use the same inhalation, exhalation to attain to the enlightenment. So it is the same thing, but the way we use it. So it is up to you. Then you can think, the inhale that you take, the same kind, the same inhalation that had the Muhammad Ali. So if you practice the boxing, then if you want to run, that you can think that the same inhalation you get, the same power you can, kind of like the Usain Bolt. You can run like him. No, and when you can tune to the that level, you will understand. If you want to play the soccer, and just imagine you breathing same like the Maradona. No, that's so the same thing. And if you want to play the golf, you inhale the same inhalation and the same exhalation that came through the tiger wood. You also have that. So if you tune to that, you get it. And if you look for the wisdom, all the Buddhas, that whatever inhale and exhale, it's come to you also. All the enlightened masters in the universe, what their inhalation, their exhalation, it go through you also. So if you tune to that, you can catch it. When it come to you, it come with that energy. So if you tune to it, and you can nourish out of that. So that nourishment come when you consciously tune to that. That is what we call the purpose, or the desire. That it is not about this self-centered, basic, conventional desire, what we talk here. It is more different. So then when you have the higher purpose, so when you tune to that level, you become part of that current. When you become part of that current, then there is no way that you're going to return. So only thing is that you have to get into that current. It is a different kind of, the mindset that you have to get in. There's everything the same. Look at in this conventional life. And we talk about mindset. We say, oh, I don't feel now. I don't want to do it now. I don't like to eat now. No, even that whatever the wherever you go, maybe you go for a long trip, and sometimes you stay inside the vehicle and you say, I don't want to get out. So you go, long journey, but you stay, you don't have the mind. So sometimes when this spiritual path, in conventional life also the same, but in this spiritual path, that tuning to that mindset, developing it, is very necessary. It's a beautiful practice. So remember this. That's why that even if you are not happy to tune to that, just practice that. That it is very difficult to get out of this. Otherwise, because there are a lot of people that just little bit closing eyes, settle down themselves without moving their body. 5 minutes, it's like the end of the world. you know it's like heavyweight fighting for them. No, there is a joy in that. There is a happiness in that. There is a tranquility moment in that. There is a energy in that. There is a wisdom in that. Tap into it. Get into that. Connect to that. Get into that flow. Before you die, you don't need to come to that moment. In day-to-day life, remember to get into that current that you never going to get back. That is what called sotapanna. And be a non-returner. Why you have to return? No, why you that? So then, how you can do that? That is why you have to have a clear purpose, clear map in you. Develop a spiritual map. Develop a spiritual blueprint. Develop a spiritual foundation for you, just by yourself. That is why we come every day and we giving necessary tools for you. That it is up to you to design it and build up it and plan it yourself, which way and how you want to get it. We don't want to interfere with that. It is just a free choice yourself. It is up to you. But just by hearing this may will help for that. And you little by little you will get it. But remember, in your life, take a very conscious decision and get a very conscious effort, at least to do that and tap into that energy. Why? As a human being, you will see how beautiful this life is, and how blissful that this moment yourself. Experience it. Because we mostly have dreams to live. We have a struggle to live. You don't need to do that. This life will, disappear like this. It even don't take 1 second. No, it's a it that much. It is impermanent. So then the moment that you have any time, it can disappear. So before it disappear, this is a miracle that you everyday experience. This life is a miracle. It's like a genie. When you open your eyes every day morning, remember, it's kind of like a genie appears to in front of you and try to give you a, wish to fulfill yourself. Don't miss that opportunity. Don't just keep repeating the same thing and, doing the same kind of thing in day-to-day life, the same way of lifestyle. No, conventionally you have to maintain things with to go with other people, but deeply, what I am telling, get nourished spiritually every day. That is very necessary. It is a beautiful journey. That's why I'm telling to you, there is something in the other side of life. Just learn to see it. Push yourself, because no one going to push you around you. Other people, maybe they have no idea about it. So then yourself, you have to get the self effort yourself to push yourself, jump yourself, cross yourself to other side, and not get back to this current again and again. Get into the current, never going to return. So then you can be happy, and then that is the best that you can do to other people. Why? Because then you become an example to them. Remember, they knowingly or unknowingly, visibly or invisibly, they follow you. They follow you. And it's a deeply inherent, this DNA system in you. And there's this African sermon. It's a tribe. They used to kill Africa and Tanzania, these countries. They used to kill elephants. And then the government passed a law, and they told it is prohibited to kill elephants for this tribe, because they used to kill elephants many hundred years. That is how they used to live, killing elephants. And then the government knew this is not good for the nature, and this is not good for the animals, and they pass a law and then stop killing. But still, after that many years, when that sermons, that tribe people appeared in front of the elephants, elephant run. There's nothing with them. They don't do anything now. They don't kill elephant now. But still, if they come closer to elephants, elephants run. See, that is, it's that inherent DNA. It happened to us also. So knowingly or unknowingly, what you do, remember, it affects for other people. It go to generations to generations, generations to generations. That's why it say, to see your karma, look your surname. Then you will see my father, my grandfather, my grandfather, my mother, my grandmother, my grandmother. They used to be this, that. And then there's something in you, whatever they have done. Then how about you? What you going to do? And how about your grandchildren? After 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, when they look back, when they're going to talk about you, what you going to live for this world? Just ordinary lifestyle. And if you start to eat too much, and maybe you get diabetes, and then it goes to your child, and then that child carry it to another child. So remember, once it go to 3 generations, what it become? It become genetic. It cannot take it out. Once it go to 3 generations, something, anything, if you plant the wisdom and then it goes to your children and then their children, when you get the grandchildren, if they get that wisdom become that inherent DNA to your human existence. Ignorance the same. If you do some foolish ideas and you hold it to idiosyncrasies and you hold it to kind of like ignorance, and it go to your children and then it go to your grandchildren, it become a part of this human existence. So then be careful what you're going to contribute to the world after you leave. Be mindful about it. We do many things. Look at, we all nourish out of this nature. We get nourished out of this world. So then don't leave garbage after you die. Don't leave any single unwanted things to this world. Get example yourself. What you don't want in your life, don't give it to anyone else. That's the very simple, basic example. Nothing to do with the religion, nothing to do with the any kind of teachings. No, what you don't like, don't give it to anybody. What you like, treat to others the same way like what you want to be. So that follow that simple principle, and then you will see day by day, even if you live a 1 day, that's enough. Rather than living 100 years, bringing pollution and the polluting this whole world. What's the point? After you live and with the garbage around everywhere, with the greed, hatred, and the delusions. Look that we can see everywhere. Generations to generations, anger inherent. greed inherent, jealousy inherent. So don't be a part of that current. That is very necessary. If you take that conscious decision, that is enough for you, because you become a part of the current, and you become part of this universe. At least you trying to make this earth as kind of like a heaven. So you can do it. In the heaven, what the quality? No greed, no hatred, no delusion, loving kindness, compassion. So make it your heart like that way. Then before you die, you will experience you in the heaven. So that is how you build up a current that you never going to come back. But remember, now you know that. And if you keep adding garbage, and I don't know where you go. It's you, but you will know. So that's why. So with that, we come to this sutta. So what the Buddha said in this sutta, this avidya sutta, it's mean ignorance, not knowing the reasons, and that our own the self-centered view related with the greed, hatred, and the delusion. But where this is start, recognizing that, getting to the bottom, and see the each and every details is very necessary. So in this sutra, Buddha mentioned it's kind of like a pattern. Remember, all the teachings related to the cause and effect, there is nothing going to happen automatically. And there is nothing going to happen according to someone else's wish. There is nothing going to happen by mistake. There is nothing going to happen according to someone else's power or the desire. It all happened according to the cause and effect. Once you recognize this theory, that deeply, you can expand your wisdom to anything. So this also the same like this, how it start. So the very first thing, so if we come from the avidya, and how the sutta go from the avidya happened because of the five hindrance. Avidya means not knowing the reason regarding the Four Noble Truth, or even regarding who you are. So let's keep like that way, without going to Four Noble Truth. Self-realization, why you cannot recognize the deeper this existence, and because of the five hindrance. And why the five hindrance happens? Because of all the unnecessary activities you perform out of your bodily, verbally, mentally actions. And why that all the bodily, verbally, mentally actions happens? Because of your faculties. You cannot hold and you cannot maintain properly your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. When you cannot hold it properly, that your bodily, verbally, mentally actions going to go wrong. So then why this all the faculties you cannot maintain properly? It because of that, when you don't have the clear comprehension or the sati sampajanya, or the recognition, very clear recognition, when something come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind as perception, in that very level, if you understand it in wrong way, then this all your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind faculties going to go wrong way. So then why the perception go wrong way? So because you lose the self, that the situational awareness. It's called yoniso manasikara, the situational awareness in this very moment. And with the the whatever the situation you go through, you don't recognize it very clearly. And then why that happened? Because of you don't have the conviction or the faith or the confidence regarding the awareness or the regarding the practice. And why that happened? Because of you heard the wrong things. As a result of that, your confidence or the conviction that you lose. So why you heard the wrong things? Because you associate the wrong people. See, that's how it's like a fountain. When you put the fountain, water top of it, and then you see part by part it going to fill, and and keep moving. So same like, so let's go to the bottom. Bottom is not the avidya. That's the thing. That's why you can break it down. You can completely to format yourself to different model as a human being from now. That's why this Dhamma is visible. You can see it. There is nothing to hide. It is very clear, crystal clear. It is visible. You can see it. You don't need someone else authorization, initiation to see this Dharma. If you look, you see. And it can see in this very life, in the past, or even in the future. Whoever come, anywhere, no time, it's a no necessary place. Any human being can see this. That's why it called Dharma. For all the time, for everyone, it can work in the same way. So that's why it is your opportunity to get it. So the bottom of the avidya or the ignorance, what the when you want to clean the kind of like a wound or the damage in your body, so the very first thing is before you put medicine, you clean it. So this like that. We're going to do a surgery for our ignorance. So then that's this theater. This this now you get into the deeper reason. So what is the deeper reason? Maybe not in this life. Maybe in the samsara samya we had that, and that's why we keep going this way. So then in this very lifetime, don't make that mistake. We all do mistakes, but one of the wisdom that you carry, don't repeat the mistakes. So then the very first thing, asapurisa sansevo. Asapurisa sansevo means you get into wrong people. You go with the wrong people. You associate wrong people. How you can find the wrong person or right person? If anybody increase your greed, hatred, and the delusion, nourish your greed, hatred, and the delusion, and you have to be careful with that person. That doesn't mean you have to that stay away from them. Sometimes we have no capacity to do that. So rather than worry, rather than feel sorry, you can be aware about it. You know when somebody is greedy, because 24 hours that person not going to push you that way. Maybe within 24 hours, maybe 5 minutes, you have opportunity with that person to deal with that. If you become conscious about that 5 minutes, maybe you have a friend, how many friends you have, but 24/7 you're not going to deal with that people. But maybe once a week, maybe end of the week you gather, and you have a party, you have a little chit chat. So during that time, maybe that is where the injection comes. And then in that very moment, if you become careful, then it's okay. You can associate the people. So that's why here you have to be wise. The asapurisa sanseo mean you should not push people away from you. No, when you have opportunity, and when you have conversation, and you have to remember what time that they try to push you towards the greed, hatred, or the delusion. So at that time, if you become mindful, you can stay away from that. There are some people, their current is so high. and they can grab you towards that way. So then you have to stay away from them. So, but remember yourself, be wise, at least develop your community around you. Somehow find some good people. There are a lot of good people around you. There are a lot of people that can help you and nourish this journey. And so then it is yourself, develop a sangha, get into the right people, little by little, little by little. So then don't push anybody towards the greed, hatred, and the delusion. It is your part. Maybe other part is that not that much strong, but yourself, if you try to become strong with the loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, understanding, generosity, so then that will help other person. And without doing anything, if you just stay thinking, oh, I don't need that people, no, that doesn't work. So then in a certain way, you don't allow things to come towards you, and at the same time you have responsibility to transfer all the good things towards other people. Don't allow anybody to put garbage, and at the same time you have responsibility to make a beautiful garden around you and around others. So that is how you can work. So that work itself become a part of your journey, your life, and that part is called the living. So start from there. And Asapurisa San say, because of the wrong people, what will happen? You start to hear the wrong things. That's what called Asad Dhamma Savano. So that's why that the wrong people is not good that much. So then if the people they are, then the second step, block it there maybe. So whatever they talk, you can guide them to the right direction. And if you cannot do it, at least don't answer the phone. And sometimes some people, every day, end of the day, they want to dial everyone, even from Los Angeles to whole world, from here to, Sri Lanka, India, Australia, Japan, England, Canada, this everywhere. They want to contribute their garbage. Otherwise, they cannot sleep. So if you see that phone call coming, don't answer because you know it is garbage coming. Don't answer. And if you know very well and you can answer, and then you can recycle that garbage. If they say, oh, you heard that? Did you see the news that what happened? Then you can tell, so don't worry about it. This everything change. So you can recycle. If you cannot recycle, you have to have a very conscious mind to do that. You can do it if you have that ability. It really work. But if you cannot do it, at least don't answer the phone. Let it go to voicemail. Please, at the moment I am busy. Please leave the message. No need the name even. No need the number. Just leave the message. So like that, you have to use a kind of like a tactics. Otherwise, you cannot get out of this. Why? Because there are some strong currents. So then, if you can recycle, and then you know this person like this, little by little, you can help that person to get out of that ignorance. And then you can slowly help them to have the loving kindness, generosity, compassion. So like that. Then later, you will see, then later that person feels so comfortable to call you and keep that conversation. And then you transfer that person. Within few years, you will see that person completely come to your side. So that's why practicing this Dharma doesn't mean, you close your eyes and just use it. No, before you die, that's why you have to contribute something to this world. Without contributing that, don't die. Then you become a debtor to this whole world. No, why? Because you breathing, as I mentioned, this breathing come to you. It has a long history. Your ancestors had this, and you breathing means your entire this human history you take to your lungs in the moment. So remember that. And then that when you hear wrong things, what will happen? Asadda, the, the conviction. You lose the confidence regarding the good, and maybe you develop the confidence regarding the wrong things. And that effect for your situational awareness. You lose your mind. Whatever you see, it called vipallasa, it is another term. So whatever you see, hear, smell, taste, you cannot recognize. You are in a different world, you know. So then you don't see what happening to you. Maybe you start to complain to others. As I mentioned in the beginning, the story. Maybe you losing your hearing ability, but you think others. So situational awareness. And then once you lose that clear comprehension, whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you don't get it. And then because of that, what will happen? With your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, these faculties, you behave in a wrong way. As a result of that, your bodily, verbally, mentally actions go wrong. See, there is no any high that the creator or any power, any soul maintain that any kind of the Atma or any unchangeable power maintain this. No, this all cause and effect. That's why you can change this. So then what will happen? The five aggregates start to develop in you and it block your wisdom, and then you go to ignorance. That is how we hold it to this. So then from today, start the bottom line, especially everywhere, whatever the people you find, and more than any other time, you have access to people, you have friendlies, you have little communities around you, you know, everywhere you get that because of the social medias. And then remember, it's nothing wrong with that, but get good people, collect all over the world, there are a lot of good people, get connected to them. In case if somebody is not in that level, transform that person to good, then you contribute something to the world rather than rejecting people. No, help for other people to become better. So if you keep like that way, that you will see in day-to-day life, every moment your life is kind of like a meditation. Every moment you gaining tranquility state. Every moment you living with the wisdom. Every moment you transform, and at the same time, other people also get the benefit to transform themselves. So in that journey, in that current, if you tune to that, there is a moment come, no return. So be a non-returner. And that is the day you're going to experience your liberation, your salvation, and the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ettavata cha mehi sampadang punya sampadang. Sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.